What's going on, guys? It's Cameron, and today we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man / Deadpool issue 2. So in the previous issue we saw Spider-Man and Deadpool come head to head, and we saw this relationship between Spider-Man and Deadpool grow past the Uncanny Avengers. And from my review of the previous issue, you know that I thought the ending of that comic was amazing. It was definitely something that made you want to read the next issue, and now it's here. But before we get into this review, I did say that I was doing a giveaway for this comic, and now it's time to announce the winner. Now, I've actually got something to confess to you guys. In the previous issue, when I was doing the giveaway, I did say that I didn't have a physical comic giveaway, I only had a digital one. Well, after that, I actually went out and got a physical comic for you guys. So the first winner that I'm going to announce is going to get the physical comic, and the second winner I'm going to announce is going to get the digital code for the comic. So the winner of the physical comic is Luis Ferrer. I hope I pronounced your name right, but congratulations, you have won the giveaway for the physical comic of issue 1 of this series. And the winner for the digital code of issue 1 is Magiver77 or Maygiver77. You are the winner of the digital code for issue 1 of this series, so I will contact you both, or you guys can contact me, and we'll sort everything out. But yeah, so congratulations to those two guys. And now without further ado, we might as well get on with this review, so let's get into it. Okay, so the issue opens up in hilarious fashion with Peter actually spilling something on his t-shirt, obviously right before he goes on to do like a press conference or whatever. But before we get any further into this review, I just want to say that this review was actually supposed to be out on Wednesday, but instead I went to see the new Deadpool movie, and it was freaking awesome. It was amazing. The script is absolutely hilarious, and I think I'm going to have to go see it again because it was just amazing. Like, seriously, every single person in the cinemas or the movie theater or whatever you guys call it were just crying, laughing the entire movie. And there is so much swearing in it. Like, it's rated like a 15 over here in the UK, so you'd think, oh, there'll be a little bit of blood, there'll be a little bit of swearing. Literally, I'm pretty sure there was an F word in like every single sentence. It was just brilliant. But I figured I'd mention it here since it's a Spider-Man / Deadpool comic and it's a review, so yeah, that was like my little quick thoughts on the Deadpool movie. But I think one of the best things about it is that now that I've seen the movie, I can just relate to Deadpool a hell of a lot more in this comic, and you kind of get a better sense of his personality as like the way he would say things, because obviously the reader of the comic will interpret how the characters say things differently, but if you've already seen the Deadpool movie, then you kind of have a little bit of a gist on how Deadpool would actually talk. Like, I'm pretty sure a decent amount of people would know just how Deadpool puts his words across, but now that you've seen the movie, or now that I've seen the movie, this comic is even more hilarious. Anyway, back to the comic on screen. I don't know if you guys saw my review for The Amazing Spider-Man issue 7, but in that comic I was talking about how Spider-Man seems to know everything. Like, he seems to be always on the ball, he never seems to make that many mistakes anymore, and what I loved about this issue was that right at the beginning, Peter Parker, just as he was about to walk on like stage to do like a press conference, he spilt something on his shirt, and that seems something that is so in the Parker look. He made a nuisance of himself in the press conference, and of course that's going to be a little bit of a laughable joke in the newspaper for the next week, and that's something that Peter Parker kind of has to deal with now. And it's really nice to see that returning, to see Peter Parker kind of making mistakes and not having everything under control, because recently Spider-Man just seems to be able to drift through everything. Like, when Mr. Negative attacked him, he already had a plan in his head, he already knew what to do. Whereas ages ago, Spider-Man used to just kind of wing it all the time, and I kind of missed that, so it's nice that this kind of happened at the beginning of this issue, and it's nice to see that returning. But anyway, so you've probably noticed that Miles Morales is in this comic working alongside Spider-Man, trying to control Deadpool, trying to understand how his crazy mind works, and it's really interesting because I think this is the first time that Miles Morales has actually run into Deadpool before. I think this is the first time Miles Morales has had to deal with Deadpool, because I'm pretty sure I haven't seen Miles Morales come up against Deadpool in the Ultimate Universe before, so this is a pretty special moment to see Miles Morales coming up against Deadpool in this comic, as I don't actually think it's happened before. Now, in case you guys don't actually know what's happening on screen, the new webwear 2.0 that Spider-Man and Miles is wearing is actually causing Miles and Spider-Man to hallucinate Goblin Nation happening all over again. So that's why Deadpool doesn't see all these goblins flying around. It's because of the webwears that Spider-Man and Miles are wearing on the wrist. So moving on throughout the comic, it won't be a Deadpool comic and it won't have all that Deadpool craziness if it doesn't have a Deadpool buggy driving up the side of a building. Kind of reminds me of the craziness out of like the Saints Row games or something like that. But as I was reading this comic and Deadpool was kind of trying to talk to Spider-Man about Peter Parker and whether he's like an evil genius or whatever, I was literally like almost shredding the pages up because I was just like, Spider-Man, actually acknowledge the conversation, because I'm pretty sure Deadpool has to say it about 3 or 4 times before Spider-Man actually acknowledges it, and it's kind of just like, Spider-Man, it is you that he's after, and you are not acknowledging about him trying to kill you. Like, it was so infuriating, but it was so awesome at the same time. And that's something that you want a comic book to do. You want it to kind of engross you and pick you up and drag you into the pages and kind of shout at the characters when they don't notice something. Also, not to mention, one of the major villains of this comic is Mysterio, and I absolutely love Mysterio. He's my favorite villain in the Marvel Universe, besides Thanos. I don't know what it is, I think it's just the whole appearance and the character of Mysterio, like the fishbowl head, and the jokes that come out of Spider-Man's mouth when he's going up against him, and literally the craziness just devours the entire comic when Deadpool runs over Mysterio. It is perfectly well done, and I think the best part is that they think that he's a robot, and usually Mysterio has like all of these holograms around him, he causes illusions and everything, and the one time that he isn't doing illusions, he runs over the real Mysterio and potentially kills him, thus having Deadpool having to revive him. And basically by this time I've backflipped through 3 buildings and fallen down an escalator because the craziness that just ensued in the comic after Deadpool ran him over, and you're just kind of like, what? Did that actually just happen? I loved it. It's safe to say that the Spider-Man / Deadpool humor remains in this comic, bringing it over from the first issue, and it is even more crazier. But coming up to the final few pages of the issue, now that Parker Industries systems are down and the security is down, Deadpool has a clear chance to enter a building that he's been planning to investigate, and he gets in there, and this is actually really confusing to us because I see it as, is Parker Industries secretly experimenting on human beings or something like that? Now of course this sends Deadpool going down the wrong way, thinking that it's Peter Parker that knows about this, because in my opinion I kind of feel like maybe Peter doesn't know about this operation going on in his own company. And we also get a glimpse as to who this person is that's contacted Deadpool about killing Peter Parker. Now, just from seeing it, I'm not actually too sure who that is, but I'm sure it's going to be a villain that's specific to this Spider-Man / Deadpool series. I don't think it's going to be a villain that goes into the Amazing Spider-Man main comics, but he looks pretty evil, and he looks like he's already been damaged by the Parker Industries company. Maybe he was one of the humans that was being experimented on in that building. But until then guys, that is the end of this issue, that is the end of this review. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. To the people that won the giveaways, don't forget to contact me through my Facebook page, through my Twitter page, or through YouTube. And for you guys that didn't win, don't worry, there are plenty of other giveaways going on other videos and on my Instagram and on my Twitter. But as for this comic, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, just to kind of round up what I've said about it. It was awesome. I loved it how Miles Morales was kind of put into this comic, not just as a side throwaway character, but also utilized in a brilliant way. And I do know some of you guys have been asking for Spider-Man 616 and Miles Morales to team up in this new universe that they're in, and now you kind of have it. As for Deadpool, I cannot wait to see where he takes this Peter Parker annihilation situation, and I just hope to God he discovers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, just to see what Deadpool would do with that information. I can imagine that he would probably keep it a secret because he knows like he wants to build a friendship between Spider-Man and himself, so yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But guys, that is it for this review, so go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter and Facebook for all the latest in comic book news and updates. Follow me on Instagram if you want to know what I'm doing in my free time when I'm not editing these videos. And last but not least, hit the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button for more, and I will see you all next time.